You're the owner of a small business, which means you're also the tech guy, and HR, and personal assistant, and head honcho, and intern. You could use another pair of hands, like the experts you'll find at Verizon Small Business Days, April 21st through 27th. Get a free tech check, special deals, and more. Call 1-800-483-4428 or visit verizon.com/smallbusiness to book your appointment. Verizon Business.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Hi, this is Tom Cock. Welcome to Talking Real Money. And silly season is upon us. Well, I know it's also the holiday season, but silly season, what's he talking about? Who is this guy? Well, I'll tell you what. All of those wonderful predictions for 2021 are starting to come in. Now, if you're like me, I'm hoping 2021's an easier year for people, because my heart truly does go out to many of my fellow small business owners, people that have suffered health issues. The pandemic has been an incredibly difficult and trying time for many people. My life has been blessed in many ways so that the effects of it all on me personally have been small, but I have seen others that have suffered greatly. So I'm hoping and I'm predicting 2021 will be a more pleasant year for generally all of us than 2020. But the predictions are rolling in for, that's right, the stock markets. What will they do? What will it all mean? Wow, I'd love reading this stuff. Well, let's just start at the top here. Morgan Stanley is now projecting the S&P 500 will rise to 3,900 in a year. By the way, it's trading as of this recording at about 3,600. Morgan Stanley had initially said it would only rise to 3,350. They realized, well, it's already above that. Maybe we should go a little bit higher. Morgan Stanley, by the way, is saying during this year, it's been impossible to gauge companies according to revenue and earnings because every business has suffered either huge disruptions or massive tailwinds from the COVID-19 pandemic. Morgan Stanley believes 2021 will look different because companies will shine if they can outperform their competitors and generate solid growth in sales and profits. By the way, Morgan Stanley also says small cap indexes like the Russell 2000 will do better than large cap benchmarks. How about Barclays, big British bank? They're saying the Dow Jones, the S&P 500 will close next year, a year from now, at 4,000. Wow, that'd be a nice little jump. They're basing that on gross domestic product globally up 5.6%. Remembering this year, gross domestic product's actually going to be down a little bit. JP Morgan Chase, well, they're saying they're even more optimistic. They're saying the S&P 500 close next year at 4,200. By the way, their forecast kind of interesting. They believe the stock market is currently overvalued by 10 to 12%. So I guess they're betting it's going to go down and then back up. Now, the author of this report at Fool.com said making positive predictions about the stock market is usually a safe bet because stocks generally rise more often than they fall. That doesn't mean the gains will come easily. When history books look back at 2020 stock market performance, positive returns might well mask the level of volatility that pervaded the market. Boy, is that ever true. Truer words never spoken, because you can remember in March when the major indexes went down, I think more quickly than any time in history, a huge fall off. And now we've had this nice rebound for the months since then. So I think that is a very smart prediction there. But let's talk about some of the things that probably will happen next year. Well, we can pretty well, I think, say now we will have a new president, and the new president will have a new agenda. Some of those things will be economic, financial related, no question. I also think it's pretty safe to say we likely will have a divided government. And what all that means, we don't know. Tax rates, pretty historically low right now. Take that for what it's worth into the future. Interest rates, historically low. Take that for what it's worth as well. We're not going to say they're going up or they're going down because we don't know, even though the Federal Reserve has promised to keep those rates low for better economic growth. Now, if you really want to look back at how predictions have done, Larry Swedro's done some very fine work. I think he has it up at ETF.com, where he's looked at the predictions and seen how poorly people do looking into the future. Not just, by the way, the big banks and brokerages. Economists have a horrible track record. And by the way, nobody saw COVID coming. Nobody predicted what that would all mean to markets and the economy heading into 2020. My predictions for 2021, well, this is going to be good. You're going to like this. So listen closely. I believe global stock markets will be up, down, or go sideways next year. Tough prediction there. I believe there will be volatility in those markets during the year. Good prediction there, I think, too. Here's my prediction for you. I think you should spend time on the things you enjoy. Yeah, hopefully listening to this podcast, but really focusing on what you need to make on your money, not the market moves, because those are going to come and go day to day, month to month, year to year, and that's not where your worry should be. Your worry should be about you and your plan, what you're trying to achieve. All the rest of it is in the background. And by the way, to make sure you're properly positioned into this new year for whatever it brings, we're happy to give you an hour of one of our advisors' time to walk through looking at your portfolio, looking at your plan. It's all free, no sales pitch, no obligation. We want to help make sure you are absolutely set up for a terrific 2021. You can go to our contact page at vestry.com to take full advantage of that. Boy, I hope 2021 is a much better year for most of us than 2020, but thank you for listening to Talking Real Money. I'm Tom Cock.
Talking Real Money. We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately, consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestry, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit talkingrealmoney.com for more information and disclosures. That's a wrap.